Hello everyone, welcome to Just Invest Today. And in today's video, we are talking about Facebook. We're talking about Meta Q1 2022 earnings report, man. And is this stock a buy, a sell, or hold? I'm going to be telling you what I'm doing with Meta and how I'm seeing this company after Q1. It came out of 2 days ago or a day ago. It was so-so, and I want to really talk about it because man, Meta, Facebook is a big portion of my portfolio. I think it's at like 18-19%, so that takes up a lot of my portfolio. Now, since the earnings report came out, I'm not making some radical quick decision. I still want time to think about it, but as we talk right now, I think I have to think about selling it down to 10%, and I'm going to give you my reasons why. I don't think I'm going to be selling it right now because I'm still kind of down like 5%, but right now, overall, I'm seeing Google and maybe Micron as better bets than Facebook right now. I'm not saying that's going to be a better bet 10, 20 years from now. I'm not 100% guaranteed. But just right now, Google, I think, and Micron kind of provide a little bit more certainty with the cash flows. I might be wrong on that. Tell me what you guys think. I think definitely Google right now provides more certainty, and that's what we want when we're investing in the market. We want certainty of our cash generation of these companies. So with Meta, there's a lot of hearsay, maybe not it works out. Who 100% knows? But if it does work out, Facebook is going to explode way above Google, in my opinion. If Facebook does what it's saying it's going to do, and we're going to talk about it, then I think Facebook is a way better company right now at these prices than Google if they say what they can do. And that's where the speculation kind of comes in. So let's get into it in this video. So the earnings presentation, as we just saw, as Facebook presented their earnings, it went up like 15%. And I think the main reason why it went up 50% is because, remember, it had low expectations. On top of that, people thought it was a dying business, but as you see in this presentation, Meta actually grew its users and its daily active users and its monthly active users despite the whole Ukraine and Russia war. So I think people were like, oh, kind of relieved that, man, this company is not another MySpace. So I think that's the main reason why it popped up. The user growth was still there despite of people saying TikTok is killing Facebook and killing Instagram, right? So let's get into it. So advertising revenue down from Q4 to Q1, 32 billion to 26 billion. Revenue by user geography, again, down to 33 billion to 27 billion. Segment results, family of apps, Q4 to Q1, down 32 billion to 27 billion. And you're going to kind of see this kind of wave. And remember, it beat its EPS, but it didn't beat its revenue, right? So the revenue kind of fell short. I think it only grew revenue at 8% year over year. Quarter over quarter, which isn't too bad because think about it. Apple grew at 9%. Amazon like barely grew. I think Amazon grew like 7-8% as well. So Facebook is in the same ballpark as those companies. Operating margins down from 37% to 31%, and this is going to be consistent, and this is where the speculation comes into, because a lot of their expenses are for the future of Meta, and this is exactly what Zuck is talking about. All the revenue from reality, all the revenue from its family of apps like Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, that's all going into the product cycle of Reality Labs, augmented future, augmented reality, and virtual reality. He's saying that he has 2 to 3 products already down the pipeline for Reality Labs. So that's how he's thinking about the business. So this is where the speculation comes into. Do you believe that this augmented reality, Reality Labs, virtual reality is going to pay out in the long term? Because he's saying this is a 2030 bet. All the revenue and income that he's generating from Facebook is going to be pushed into Reality Labs. And he's telling you that up front. No ifs, and or buts. You see net income down 10 billion to 7 billion. You see capital expenditures up 22%. And this is all for everything they're doing with Reality Labs, for AI, more employees, better facilities, getting more data centers, building out their supercomputers. This is what they're doing with Meta. But this is where the huge upswing came in for me. And this is why I think people in the market are kind of happy about what happened, what Meta's performance is that family active people, 2.82 billion to 2.87 billion. I think this is the reasons why Meta had this huge upswing. So I highlighted the main parts of this earnings call, what Mark Zuckerberg talked about, and what I'm seeing for the future of Meta. You have to remember, the main thing is this. Do you believe that Facebook is going to be able to monetize Reels? That's a quick question, because 20% of their people using Facebook or Instagram are using Reels, and they're getting new content from Reels. So they haven't even tapped into that monetization. So that's going to be a huge bull case. And we have to kind of believe in Zuck. And that's why I believe in the company, because it went from desktop to your phone to the news feeds to stories, now stories to Reels. So all that time it made that transformation, Mark Zuckerberg was able to profit from that. And it took time to profit from that. The first year or half a year, it had a lot of headwinds, right? They didn't know how to profit from that. They didn't know how to use advertisements to profit from that field. That's where the hiccup is coming up right now. And that's why we don't see the revenue coming very, very strong, because it's still learning how to navigate the Apple iOS change, plus get these advertisers to be able to use Reels to generate revenue. They still haven't figured out that equation yet. So when you think about it, that's going to be the key issues right now. That's the key things right now for Meta, because all their money is going into Reality Labs, and you have to believe in the company and believe in Mark Zuckerberg's vision. So if you don't believe in the vision, this can kind of be a little bit of a speculation play. So that's why I want to reduce my position to 10%. Even though I think the company is still going to grow 15%. And if the company is going to still grow 15%, it's worth at least 300 to 350 intrinsic value. So when it gets to that 300 to that 350, I think I'm going to sell off when it gets to my intrinsic value of what I think Meta is worth. But after that, I'm going to just hold that 10% in that company, because if I'm right on that 10%, that Mark Zuckerberg can actually make this Horizon Reality Labs, virtual reality, augmented reality come to fruition, then this company is 1,000, 1,200, 3,000. That's what the company is going to be worth if they can build their own infrastructure and actually become the next Apple, right? Think about how Apple uses its services to generate so much revenue. Mark Zuck really believes that to get into the new operating system of the future. So if it gets into the new operating system of the future, Facebook controls that, it's over. So he's gonna pay right now for all the short-term headwinds, as he's gonna invest so much money into the metaverse and build out the whole ad business, generating that revenue, 15 to 20% if they can go back into monetizing Reels and put all that money back into Reality Labs. So guys, if you believe in that vision, then this company is going to be huge, 1,000, 2,000 into the future. That's what the stock's going to be worth. They're going to do what they're saying they're going to do. And he's predicting, he's thinking long term, 2030, 2040. That's his vision for Facebook, for Metaverse, which I kind of like. But on top of that, that's all speculation. That's not for sure guaranteed cash flow generation. Because we see businesses fail, like Google tried to get into the augmented reality, virtual reality, and they kind of failed in that. So what do you think about Facebook? What do you think about the intrinsic value? Do you think my intrinsic value of Facebook is real? $300 to $350 if they're growing at around 13 to 15%, that's nothing for Meta. Meta has been growing year over year, 37%, 26%, 21%. 37% year-over-year revenue growth. Year-over-year revenue growth. This is not quarter-over-quarter, right? And what cash flows too. The cash flow is growing at 20, 30% as well. The free cash flow generation of the company. So when you're thinking about that, it's generating a lot of cash. Plus, they have a 7% yield. If you bought the whole company, you're getting 7% on your money. That's amazing. What other company are you getting 7% yield if you bought the whole company? And that's how I think about Meta. So that's how I'm thinking about Facebook. I'm still gonna now move it to the more speculative side. So I want to get my position down to 10% instead of having like an 18 to 20% position in Facebook when it gets to that 350 mark, because that's what I believe the real intrinsic value of the company is. So to sum it up, if you believe Mark Zuck can monetize Reels, if you think these Apple headwinds are still short term, then I think this is an amazing company if you're thinking 300 to 350 intrinsic value. But when it reaches that, do you believe in the company long term? Do you think it's going to win the augmented reality, virtual reality, reality labs section? And they're already running away with it. With Quest 2, they have majority of the market when it comes to the Quest 2 market share of virtual reality. So tell me what you think about Facebook. Do you believe in the vision? Do you believe in the company? Are you invested in Facebook? How do you see Facebook? Like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll get back to you in the next video. Peace!